Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Words, in the sense, are never just sounds. They're fragments of the unconscious speaking aloud. They're signs, clues, symbols of what lies beneath a person's surface. Most people believe words are simply communication, but Jung knew better. Words reveal the shadow, the hidden complexes, and the parts of the psyche we try to bury. This is why certain words, when spoken with conviction, must be taken seriously. They are not small slips of the tongue, they are red flags, projections of inner wounds, and warnings about a person's readiness or refusal to grow. Let us dive deep into the 5 words and phrases Jung would tell you. If you hear these, do not argue, do not try to change the person, simply walk away. 1. You owe me. The psychology of entitlement is one of the most dangerous forms of shadow possession. When someone says, "You owe me," they're not merely asking for what is fair, they are declaring that you are a resource to be exploited, a possession, or a means to their end. In Jungian psychology, this reveals a power complex. The ego has identified itself with domination and control. Instead of relating to you as a human being, they relate to you as an object, something to own, to bind, to keep in a cage of obligation. And here's the subtle poison. They will disguise it as love. They will say, "After all I've done for you," or "If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have." But true love is never transactional. Jung would say that when someone makes you feel indebted for simply existing near them, they have not integrated their shadow of greed and control. They're trapped in a cycle of unconscious manipulation. If you stay, your individuality will shrink. You will become nothing but a mirror reflecting their demands. The healthiest act? Walk away, because love that keeps score is not love at all. 2. It's your fault. Projection is perhaps Jung's most famous contribution to psychology. When someone says it's your fault again and again, notice what is happening. They are projecting their shadow, the parts of themselves they refuse to acknowledge, onto you. They cannot accept their weakness, so they call you weak. They cannot face their failures, so they accuse you of sabotage. They cannot see their cruelty, so they call you cruel. This is the tragedy of unconscious living. Instead of seeing the enemy within, they invent an enemy outside. In relationships, this creates a destructive pattern. You become their scapegoat. They drain you emotionally because you carry not only your burdens, but theirs as well. And no matter what you do, it will never be enough, because their shadow is endless. Jung warned, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But if a person refuses that understanding, if they endlessly declare it's your fault, then they are choosing blindness over growth. Do not waste your life carrying projections that do not belong to you. Walk away. 3. That's just who I am. On the surface, this sounds like honesty, but in Jung's framework, it is something far darker. It is the refusal of individuation. Individuation is the central idea in Jung's psychology, the process of becoming whole, of integrating the conscious and the unconscious, of unfolding into your true self. When someone says, "That's just who I am," they are refusing that journey. They're declaring that their ego, often immature, wounded, or undeveloped, is their final destination. Think carefully about this. To say, "This is just who I am," is to deny responsibility, to freeze growth, and to reject transformation. It is the language of a person who would rather cling to limitation than step into possibility. Worse, it is often used to excuse harm. "I'm just an angry person. That's who I am. I don't change for anyone. That's just who I am." What they are really saying is, I refuse to confront my shadow. I refuse to grow. I refuse to evolve. Jung would remind us, the self is never finished. It is always becoming. If someone rejects becoming, then they reject life itself. And if you tie your future to them, your growth will be chained as well. 4. You'll never make it. Few words are more poisonous than these. On the surface, they appear like simple doubt. But in Jung's framework, they are a revelation of envy, the dark twin of admiration. When someone says, "You'll never make it," they are not describing you. They are describing themselves. They are projecting their own disbelief, their own failure, their own crushed dreams onto you. Jung observed that the unconscious often envies vitality, potential, and creativity. People who have abandoned their own journey cannot stand to see someone else attempt it. It reminds them of what they gave up, of the life unlived. So they disguise their wound as realism. They say, "I'm just being honest with you, you'll never make it." But remember, a healthy psyche would never destroy another's vision. A truly strong person would challenge you, yes, but they would challenge you in the direction of growth, not destruction. If you internalize their words, you will carry their shadow as your destiny. The antidote is not to argue, but to walk away. Their limitation is not yours. 5. I don't need anyone. At first, this sounds like strength, independence, and self-sufficiency. But Jung would warn, behind this mask lies something dangerous. Human beings are relational creatures. We are not meant to live in total isolation. Jung believed that wholeness comes from integration with our inner world and connection with the outer one. When someone says, "I don't need anyone," what they often mean is, "I am terrified of being hurt. I am afraid of intimacy. I cannot trust." It is not strength. It is fear dressed as strength. It is the refusal of vulnerability, the denial of love, and the rejection of community. The danger is that if you stay close to such a person, they will keep you at a distance forever. Every attempt at closeness will be punished. Every act of love will be rejected. They will sabotage intimacy because it threatens their illusion of self-sufficiency. Jung knew that to deny our need for others is to deny our humanity. The psyche longs for connection, first with the self and then with others. To reject this is to remain incomplete. If someone has built a fortress and declared they need no one, do not waste your life trying to break the walls. Walk away. Closing reflection. Carl Jung's psychology was not about theories. It was about survival, wholeness, and the courage to see reality as it is. When people say these words, "You owe me," "It's your fault," "That's just who I am," "You'll never make it," "I don't need anyone," they're not just speaking casually. They are revealing their shadow, their wounds, and their refusal of growth. The greatest gift you can give yourself is clarity. Clarity to hear these words not as noise, but as signals. Clarity to know when a person has chosen unconsciousness over awareness. Clarity to walk away, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And sometimes, the first step toward becoming who you truly are is walking away from those who refuse to do the same.